When I first started out as a social media manager, I heard the word case study or the words case study thrown around a lot. And until I got into social media management, until someone put me through, I had no idea what a case study was. If you are a social media manager or an intending social media manager, you're going to hear case study being talked about a whole lot. What exactly is a case study? In relation to social media management, a social media case study is an in-depth exploration of one of your biggest clients' success stories. This case study describes how you as the social media manager helped them solve their problems and reach their goals. Oftentimes, case studies focuses on a specific campaign that is designed to achieve a particular result. But as a social media manager, you're going to be involved in creating case studies throughout your social media management journey. And you also need to know what type of case studies to feature in your portfolio as a beginner social media manager or a seasoned social media manager. I am going to be talking about the attributes or things involved when creating a social media client case study. And at the end of this video, I am going to be showing you a clear example of a simple case study that you can create even if you are a beginner social media manager. Hi, my name is Balaji. I am the social media ogre. I am a social media manager, mentor, coach, speaker, trainer, and I'm about to be your social media bestie. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell because I drop videos every single week that will help you on your social media management journey and also teach you how to use social media the right way. The first thing you want to do when creating a case study is you want to identify a niche or an industry. There are three ways you can make the selection process when identifying a niche or an industry. Number one would be your personal interest. You need to choose an industry that you're passionate about because it will reflect your enthusiasm and also reflect in your work because you'll be more knowledgeable about this industry. If you choose something you're not passionate about, it might be very hard to put whatever example you're trying to show into words because trust me, copywriting is one of the hardest things out there. Number two, market research. You want to look at the current industry trends and demand to actually identify the niches that have growth potential. When you're talking about a case study as a beginner, you don't want to just choose a niche because it is popular. You want to read the trends, you want to read around the room, look at the current market trends, look at the current demands, and see if you would be able to grow in this particular niche. Number three will be target audience alignment. You need to consider the audience that you're trying to attract. For instance, if your industry is the fitness and the wellness niche, you're going to be looking for fitness enthusiasts or wellness seekers as your target audience. This will help you narrow down the industry or the niche that you're going to use in your case study. The next thing you want to do is to define your client's profile. And how do you do that? You want to list out the client's characteristics. For example, you want to list out things like their company name, the business type, the target audience, their brand voice, and their brand style. You necessarily don't have to list out all these things, but it is very important because if you're submitting this case study to a CEO, a recruiter, or anybody on the internet that stumbles on the case study, they'll be able to understand what it is they're actually reading because you've done a brief introduction into the niche or the business that you're using as your case study. The third thing you want to do is set clear objectives. And I will always tell you, as a social media manager, use the SMART goals. You need to set SMART goals. It has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We all know SMART is an acronym and we are tired of hearing it, but trust me, every goal has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. The next thing you want to do after setting your goals is developing a strategy. There are different things that entails creating a strategy, but for a case study, you just need to do strategic planning. You want to select the platforms first of all, so you have to do a platform selection. You want to choose platforms based on where you think the target audience of this case study is going to be. For example, if you want to choose like a fashion brand, most of the audiences are going to be on Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. The next thing you want to choose is content themes. What exactly are content themes? A lot of us call it content pillars, but they're actually called content themes. These are the type of content that you would be creating for the brand. It might be product shoots, it might be educational tips, it might be behind the scenes. Basically, you want to have content themes for your case study. The last thing you want to do when it comes to your strategy is having a realistic content schedule. It can be posting 5 times a week on Instagram with a mix of maybe post stories and reels, or posting 3 times a week on Facebook, including relevant articles and maybe event promotion. The next thing you want to do in your case study is create sample content. Now, what are sample content? It's more of visual posts and captions. For a case study to actually stick, if you've never worked with a brand before as a new social media manager, you want to just imagine yourself working for that brand. So you want to create visuals, maybe look for stock images online or design the graphics and also write captions. And you have to make sure that these captions are engaging and they look like you're actually creating something for a real life client. Last but not the least, you want to analyze and report. Case study is not complete without showing what key metrics you measured and what your recommendations are. Let me show you an example of a case study I created in Canva. Particular case study, I just named it like Chic Avenue. Started with the client overview, basically talked about Chic Avenue, the company's name. The industry is fashion. The business type is an online retail store specializing in women's fashion. The target audiences are women aged 18 to 35, is fast, fashion forward, interested in the latest trends and active on social media. And the brand voice and style is trending, vibrant, and empowering. I just noticed that some of the texts were coming out. And then I got like a picture of Canva just for emphasis sake. The next thing is the objectives. I mentioned that your case study has to have an objective. So the objectives of this case study was to increase brand awareness. And I said an example of increasing brand awareness is grow Instagram followers by 25% in 6 months. Remember, I talked about setting smart goals. The next one is to boost engagement, which is achieve an average engagement rate of 6% on Instagram and Facebook posts, drive website traffic, increase website traffic from social media by 20%, enhance sales, generate a 15% increase in sales through social media campaigns. As a new social media manager, you must be wondering, how exactly do I achieve this percentage? To be honest, I really don't know. But when it comes to percentages, it's not going to be very easy saying, okay, this is the percentage I want to achieve, or this is the percentage I think I am going to achieve. No, it's not going to be easy. But I would say, what are the realistic numbers that you can achieve for this brand? If you say you're going to grow Instagram followers by 100% in 6 months, is that going to be realistic for you? To stay on the safe side, I'll just say by 15%, so that you might go above 15% and then it looks like you've surpassed your objective. You also want to list out your strategy. Like I said, my strategy for this is talking about the primary platforms, which are going to be Instagram and Facebook, and I explained why, like due to the visual nature and the large user base within the target demographic. That's why I'm choosing Instagram and Facebook. The secondary platforms are going to be Pinterest and TikTok, and this is to reach a broader audience and also leverage viral content. Now, I went on to the content themes, which are like the content pillars. You can see here, I talked about the product showcases, behind the scenes, customer stories, style tips, and interactive content. Basically, you want to explain what the content themes are in your case study. I mentioned the part about the posting schedule, and you can see here I said Instagram is 5 posts per week, including 2 stories. Facebook is 3 posts per week. Pinterest is daily pins focusing on product images and style inspiration. TikTok is 3 short videos per week featuring trends and behind the scenes. Then I showed examples of the Instagram posts that I would be creating for the brand and the Facebook post. You can see here everything was designed in Canva. It wasn't a screenshot taken from somewhere. When it comes to creating a case study, it's like telling them, okay, this is what I'm about to achieve for you. And it comes in handy when you want to create or run a campaign, or you want to pitch to a client, or you're looking for something to actually put into your portfolio as a new social media manager. The next thing is the results. Now, for example, I'm creating a case study. After you're done with the proposed post, you put a post and every single thing, you want to talk about the results you got on this page. Now, for new social media managers, I'm sure you must be confused as how I got to the results part. Well, I have said for new social media managers that don't have clients, create a dummy page in the industry that you are more knowledgeable about. If you create a dummy page in the industry you're more knowledgeable, start posting on that page like you have a client. You can use stock videos from anywhere, but please make sure to give proper credit. And at the end of it, you put that in your case study report and put that in your results. You can see here it's a stimulated analysis talking about how I grew from 10,000 to 12,500 in 6 months. 10,000 to 12,500 is an increase of 25%. Talked about how the engagement grew, talked about the website traffic, and talked about the sales. You want to make sure that in your case study as a social media manager or a new social media manager, you put in your stimulated analysis in your report. Next, talk about the metrics overview. And you can see here, I said grew by 25% over 6 months. Engagement was consistent. Website traffic increased, sales increased, and talked about the insights. What are the high-performing content? One talked about the effective channels, as you can see here in this example. Finally, talk about your recommendation. A case study for a new social media manager is because you don't have clients and you're probably just using a dummy page. You want to actually write it like you're actually submitting this case study to a teacher, a lecturer that probably will grade you. And this will help you show the client or whoever it is, maybe you're going for an internship position or maybe you're applying for your first social media management job, that you actually know what it is that you're doing. And that's it, guys. When it comes to creating a case study, it's not a one size fit all. It might be different for new social media managers in another country, but this are my best and my top tips when it comes to creating a case study. This is an example again of my own case study, showing you just something I actually did in Canva, and you can do that also. If you have any questions, don't be shy to ask me in the comment section. If you're new here, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.